Hey guys, let's talk Hedera. I haven't talked about hbar in a little bit. There's been some news that I think has been not talked about too much. They have a new governing council member. I don't know if it's just because the market in general has been more on the bearish side right now due to just macroeconomics and international turmoil, we'll call it. But or maybe it's because I had never heard of this council member before. I've researched him since then and talked to you guys about it momentarily. But they're a huge company. There's a lot of huge companies we've never heard of, Fortune 200 companies and whatnot. But I want to get into a little bit about their new partnership, what it means, what it probably or could mean down the road, and let's just talk about hbar a little bit because why the hell not? And if you've been here a couple of times, you know those buttons down below. Press them if you feel like it is worth your time and while. I'll appreciate it. But let's talk some about hbar. So I've been accumulating Hedera for a little while, right? I think it is inarguable that Hedera has the most widespread ability across all of crypto. What I mean is, with the governing council as well as just what their technology allows them to do, they do more or able to do more than every other crypto project out there that I know, right? And it's not just theory. Like I can already hear a few people saying, "Well, Caspa can do this, 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 and this." Well, yes, but they're not, right? Or and you can pick. I'm just picking on Caspa, but pick any different blockchain that they can do all these things, but they're not, and they also most of them can't do it, right? I mean, like Hedera has dabbled into everything from they're working with satellites of data sending and storage. They're in tokenization. They've got karate combat, a whole fight league that they end up going in and airing. They're into AI microchips for both Intel and NVIDIA. I mean, they're into everything. They're into merchandising and food supplying and everything. Like they're damn near everywhere. They're the most versatile crypto company out there. And I don't think there is a close second place to this at all. Now, that doesn't mean that they're better than everybody else, but it does certainly mean that they're pretty damn good. And the new council member just adds to that even more. So, in the beginning of June, we now have Aero Electronics added to the fray, right? It's a Fortune 200 technology solutions provider. All right, what the heck does that mean, guys? Arrow, just like every other council member, gets a node so that way it can help out with the governing and all of that stuff. But otherwise, what's Arrow Electronics going to do? Right? They're trying to help improve the whole supply chains, right? Arrow wants to use Hedera to pretty much track products in real time as they move around the world. So it's another tracking aspect to it. This makes sure that things that when they're both traveling, they don't get lost, stolen, or delayed, and just makes a lot of global shipping smoother. And you might be like, who the hell cares? You ever have something that was sent by Amazon that just got lost, or your USPS mail, US, or any type of mailing system, just, oh yeah, that letter got lost and we don't know where it is. Well, now we can figure out where the heck it is. Right. So, I mean, I've never thought or cared about mail fraud before in my life, but this is actually kind of a big deal of where the heck does things go. And well, now you can use, they're going to use a blockchain to help track all this stuff. That's kind of cool. Nothing I would have thought actually matters, but I can see where that does. Right? They're also going to help Hedera with record keeping. Just that way, there's fewer mistakes when it comes into adding and delivering data again of shipping, customs delivery, etc. It just makes HR a lot easier. And large companies, good to know. And it just adds more uses to Hedera. So do I actually really care about mailing solutions? No. But I care about Hedera being a multifaceted tool for so many things. And I've used this analogy before, where if you have a whole toolbox full of tools, great, you can get the job done. But if you can get one tool that does 50 jobs, you don't need the rest of the tools in your toolbox, or you can use them as backups. And Hedera is that 50 in one tool and just keeps on adding to it. And other companies know this. It's why they keep joining the council. And it's not technically a requirement that if you're on the governing council that you need to be actively using Hedera, but it's also kind of an unspoken rule that if you're on the council, you have to use Hedera, which is great because these are large ass companies. If you're in HBAR, you probably already know this, or I would hope that you do. But if you don't, let's go over some of those governing council members and what it actually means. So, of the 32 or so governing council members, some of them are private companies, which means they don't have to list what their valuations and everything are. So, those I don't necessarily know, but some of these are very large companies. So, some of the large privatized companies like Ubisoft is not going to be here letting us know what their valuation is. I could probably dig in a little bit more to find it. But like we have things like Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, right? 1.88 trillion market cap worth. Boeing, which is a major aerospace and defense contractor, 158 billion. IBM, right? You should know IBM, big technology company, 268 plus billion. We have Dell, again, technology, almost 115 billion. We have Mondelez International, which gets into snacking and confectionaries. Now, we've got Aero Electronics now into it, which is almost a 6.5 billion. We have Aberdeen, huge investment company, not quite the size of BlackRock, but getting up there. I think it's number 2 in terms of size for that. We have Chainlink. You should know what Chainlink is, right? BitGo. We have all these large companies that are supporting it. So this is why I used to laugh when people would say that Hedera is a dead coin going to zero, when really all they meant is they probably bought at the high and sold way too early, so lost a lot of money and was blaming Hedera instead of themselves for losing money onto it. But it's not going to go anywhere. They've got way too much backers, support, and diversification at this point, and real use. It's awesome. Hedera has plummeted recently, which we can take a quick look at that, but so has everything else. So let's do a little chart checking quick, shall we? So yeah, I mean it's gone down. We're at 15 cents. I think this is the lowest we've actually been since Hedera pumped up last year during we'll call it the Dino Coin pump, when everything went up. Specifically, it was led by Hedera and XRP. I think this is the lowest we've had since then. So obviously not financial advice, but if you are looking into getting into an HBAR position or DCA, this is likely a pretty good spot to come into it. I really didn't think we were going to see 15 cents again. Still ranks number 21. So again, we know everything's going down at this point, but I'm not going to say this is a healthy chart, but I mean, it's in terms of a crypto that I am so freaking confident in. I'm not upset by this, other than I just don't have more funds to put more into it. Let's look a little bit more on the weekly. And yeah, we can see where the sharp dip it did. Here we can see where the sharp dip came in, but then it did go up a little bit. We're getting close, but not quite there to where the major dip is. I really think it's just a matter of time until it goes back up. Markets do this. I'm not concerned. So, my friends, Hedera HBAR, new governing council. What do you guys think about it? Do you care? It's like, I don't give a shit what happens or who supports it. I just want to see the prices go up. Okay. I mean, this is part of that, though, guys, right? And even when news comes out, and if it doesn't excite the market, we are so short-term focused and we have amnesia about everything. So when the markets get favorable again, to hear good news and people talk, hey, did you realize this? Hey, did you realize that? News comes up that is old, 3 months to 2 years ago. And then either we didn't know because we weren't into the crypto and researching it then, or we forgot about it. And that re-brings things up like, oh crap, I forgot about that. Bye, 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 bye. And we'll have some of that happening. But let me know what you guys think. Just in general, I'm not going to prompt too much. What do you guys think about HBAR in the future? Who else do you want to see as a governing council member? Like, I would love to see SpaceX or any of Elon Musk's little stuff come into it. They already use them to an extent. That'll just be a huge backing support. And Imagine the marketing on that one when they just say Elon Musk is investing in Hedera, even though it doesn't have to be Elon, it could be one of his companies, and he just said, sure, whatever. That could be huge, and that's what I want to see. So, how about you guys? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll talk to you guys all soon. Peace.